And now I've got the final frontier, which is the tops over here, which is these caps. So let's take a look at what we've got, because we know what we need to do to turn them, to rotate them, and to place them, and also to rotate them. This is in, and it needs to be over here. So in, out, out, in. So if I keep coming all the way around, this will be where it needs to be over here. So I'm just going to do that. Turn, 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 and turn, turn, turn. Then again, turn, 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 and turn. Then come over to here and do the same thing. And again. Once more. So I'm going all the way around it so that every part of it can participate. Turn and turn. So you can see it's now in over here. Now notice I had to keep turning it around because it would have gone here to here to here to here if I kept it in one place. So I had to keep turning it around as I was doing that. Okay, so when looking, this green, pink, and orange belongs over here. This is out, which means it's rotated out. When it comes over here, the clockwise rotation will keep it rotated out. So you've got out, out, in. So one turn of this should get this in. So that's another one. Turn, turn, move here, here, and here. Undo it. All right, that puts it over here, move it over here. If I kept it here, this would bypass this and end up over here, which would not be good. Now if I move it here, notice this one is in, but that's not going to participate in the algorithm, so it actually works. Turn, turn, and turn. Now in these cases, rather than focus on putting two in at the same time, I just do one by one and let whatever else falls in fall in. So this is good over here. Okay, how about this? Well, this needs to go over to here. You can see this is rotated out. It's about to go in. The very next one will turn it in because this, when it rotates clockwise, will be in. However, I don't want it to go here, obviously. When I hold it here, it'll bypass this and end up over here and thus be in. So turn, 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 turn. Guy wants to escape, doesn't he? Turn, and again. Turn, turn, and turn. All right, so you can see this guy is already in. This is not, belongs over here. This belongs over here, and he's about to turn in. One more turn, this will turn clockwise, and this will be in over here. However, I need to get this out of the way. The way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to move him down to here. Remember, whatever I start with here is going to end up back in the normal position. So move this down here, here, and here. Okay, so now that I've done that, this will participate in the algorithm, this won't. It'll be brought safely back up. So turn, 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 and turn. And again, undo it, turn, turn, and turn. Okay, so now this is brought back up. So I'm going to simply move this back in. Whoop, I got to make sure that I turn it right. It'll be obvious when you don't. Okay, so all these are in. So we're getting it, and actually we very quickly have it down to the last two, I think. No, three. Okay, good. So with the last three, I want to move them all up. I want to move them all up here. So I'm going to take this and move this up here, and this needs to come over to here. Now let's see where things are at. This will come over to here, and it's out. So two more will get it back in. Oh, actually this needs to go down to here. This is solved, this is solved. So this needs to go to here, and is it about to turn in? No, actually it's going to go here. This is out, out, in. So really, when you look at it, this, if I hold it here, will eventually go in once it goes into over here. This doesn't belong here, so I'm going to go turn, turn, and turn. And so now we'll move this to here and see where everything else is at. Maybe they'll all just kind of go back in. So turn, 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 and again, turn, 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 bing, zoom, splat. Okay, once more we'll bring this guy in. Turn, 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 and again. So there is a degree of good predictability that you can have with a puzzle. This is in. Now let's turn this guy back and turn. Okay, So everything is in except these two, and you can see that they're in the right place. Whoops. You can see that they're in the right place. They're just rotated wrong. So what do I do about that? How do I make this happen? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something not unlike the RIDIRD concept of a basic 3x3. Well, let's take a look at this. This is not where we want it to be. I mean, it's where we want it to be, but it's rotated all wrong. So this is going to rotate correctly. This is going to rotate to bring the green up. So it's going to be in, out, out, in. So one rotation around should bring this in. However, what I have to get this out of the way. I can't move it into here because this is already in. I've got to exchange it with this guy. And the way that I'm going to do that is I'm first going to start off, whatever I start off with is going to end up shaped right. So if I go turn, 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 I can get it back just by reversing this, but this is shaped correctly. Now I can exchange it with this, going turn, turn, turn. So to get it back, I just have to move it down here and then back to here. So that's no problem. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to send this around, in, out, in, once to get this back. So turn, 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 and again. Turn. Okay. Now once again. Turn. Hold it over here, and I'm just doing this all the way around until I can get this in. Turn, 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 turn. And I think one more should do it. Turn, 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 and turn. Okay, so this is now in. Now I got to remember what I did to bring this back. So what I'm going to do is go turn, turn, turn. That brings this back, and now I got to bring this back. So you see how easy that was to do. So this is in, and this is not in. I've got these two, I've got three to go. Three to go over here. Now what I'd recommend is putting them all on the same level, because it's going to be hard to kind of exchange. So this is wrong, and this is wrong. I must have another one. Yeah, so what I'd like to do is I would like to put this up here and just keep them all on the same level. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this where it's supposed to be over here. So the way that I'm going to do that is I have to get the green where the red is, or I have to get this blue where the red is. So I'm going to take this and move it up to here. So turn, so again, this blue has to go where this red is. Turn and turn. Will it do it? Well, this blue here needs to go where the red is over here, and I believe it will, because this orange will end up here, this pink will end up here, and this blue will end up here. So let's go ahead and do that. Turn, 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 and again, turn. You can see the blue is over here, so I'm going to take this and simply put this back, and you can see this is now correct. So now you have a situation where everything is in except these two. So we've got two rotational issues, two rotational corners. This is where it needs to be, green, red, and pink. It's just rotated wrong, and red, green, and yellow. This is also rotated wrong. So what do we do about this? How do we work this out? So to get through a corner rotation issue, there's really no difference in the concept of how to deal with corner rotation issues than there is in, say, a 4x4. I'm going to use this because I've got two corners and two edges, just like I've got two corners and two, I don't know, edge type things over here. But in any case, you understand that when I do rotation, if I do it 3 times, I return the cube back to its position. So that's doing R-I-D-I-R-D, R-I-D-I-R-D. So I rotated this and caused a whole bunch of horrible things to happen to the rest of the puzzle. That was once, R-I-D-I-R-D, R-I-D-I-R-D. That's twice, it rotated again. When I do it 3 times, 3 rotations will take me back exactly where I was before. So we can use that aspect by simply switching corners as we're rotating in true commutator style. So let's do it once, R-I-D-I-R-D, R-I-D-I-R-D. I rotated it once. I'm just going to put in another corner in there because it's only the corners that are being affected on the top. If I rotate this twice, everything else will come back, but this will be rotated. R-I-D-I-R-D, R-I-D-I-R-D. That's now a total of 2 times, one here and one here. Do another one over here for a total of 3, and you can see it brought everything back. These corners are rotated. So the corner rotation is conserved as you're bringing the puzzle back. As long as I do 3, this is that magical step at the end of the beginner's method where you're just rotating corners around to end up with it coming back to its original configuration. But the whole concept with that is that 3 rotations, any 3 rotations, will bring this puzzle, the first couple of layers, back to its original configuration. So I'm going to borrow on the same concept with this. And that concept is that as long as I'm doing a rotation with each one, I'll eventually bring it back to where the puzzle was before. So how am I going to do that? Well, I know how to do rotations. This is out. I'll return it back to its original conformation if I go around this way. But if I go around the entire puzzle, I'll do a rotation. So let's say this is in. It'll go out, out, in, out. Then out, in, out, out, again, in, then out, out, in. My whole point is that if I do it 3 times, it'll return it right back to its configuration. So let's say this is in, out, out, in, out. That's 1. Out, in, out, out. That's 2. In, then out, out, in. That's 3. So basically what it means is anything that rotates the corners on any puzzle, if you do it 3 times, you're going to return the rest of the puzzle to its original conformation. So because I have these 2, I'm going to make use of that concept when I put this back in. But as I'm moving this all around the puzzle to get this in, I'm going to be affecting this. So what I need to do is I need to move this out of the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to move this down to here so that I can eventually move it up to here. Because if I can move this around independently, I'm going to cause effects all over the puzzle. And if I just put this into this position, then I'll eventually move it all back. So here's what you're going to do in this situation like this. Take this, move it down to here. So what I'm going to do is I'm first going to get this out of the way. The way that I'm going to do that, but this has to be retained, I'm going to take this guy, move him up to here. So I'm going to have 3 in, 1 out. So we're going to go turn, turn, and turn. Okay, so this is here, it's in kind of a messed up position, but that's okay for now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this all around the puzzle. Remember, all of these are actually correctly oriented. I'm going to move this all around. It's out, then in, out, out, in. And one turnaround of this will put this back in the right place. What I'm then going to have to do is take this and move this guy to here so that I can go ahead and do the same thing. So let's go ahead and take this and move this all around the puzzle until it's where it needs to be. So once, turn, 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 and again, turn, turn, turn. Turn it over here, turn, 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 turn. And again. And I'm going to keep doing this until this is in the right place, and that represents 1 turn of the algorithm. All right, and this should do it. Turn, 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 and again, and turn. Okay, so you can see this is now rotated correctly. This is the equivalent of doing R-I-D-I-R-D, R-I-D-I-R-D. Okay, I've got this in. I simply move this in place, and do the RIDI-RD one more time, and it'll get these in. Okay, so now what I got to do is I need to take this and swap it with this over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and go turn, turn, turn. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I need to take this and move this to here. And the way that that's going to work is I'm going to go turn, 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 and I'll exchange it with this, turn, turn, and turn. Okay, so I just have to remember once this gets back in to move this down here and then to move it back over to here, so that'll get it back. So now with this, unfortunately I have to do it 2 times. I have to do 2 turns in order to get this back in. So I'm going to keep following this pink, red, and green until this is where it needs to be. So turn, 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 and again. Okay, follow it here. Follow it here. And follow it here. So I'm actually following this one around. Now it shouldn't be in as of yet, because this is only 1 turn of it. I need a total of 3, and I've done 1 already. The second one will be number 2. So as you can see, it's not rotated in quite yet, so another round of it should do it. Turn, turn, move it over here. So I'm relying upon the mathematical parity of this puzzle, putting my faith in that, knowing that it should work even though I can't completely wrap my head around why it works. And with all these steps, the hope is that it just does. Okay, and now once more. Okay, now once more. Now I already like what's going on because this is in, but this is not going to be affected by the next round of this. Turn, 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 and again. Turn, turn, and turn. Okay, so as you can see, all of these guys are now in. This is in, these are all in, and according to the parity of the puzzle, everything should have been fixed. So now we're going to go through the process of getting everything back, and that was a turn. No, I'm going to make sure I'm turning it correctly. Turn. No. Might be easier if I do it from this perspective. Turn, turn, turn. You can see this is back. And now we just go turn, turn, and turn. And now this is back as well. So I used exactly the same concept of the RIDI-RD. I just did the equivalent to that. I simply took 1, moved it all the way around. I knew that 3 turns of each one would get it back. I just had to do my substitution, but that's how you get past this. And I figured it was going to be exactly the same way as to getting past corners with this as well. So there you have it, the Clover Cube. It's a very playable, very nice sequential solve, pretty good degree of complexity, something I would highly recommend. Again, in a puzzle like this, it's always hard to kind of describe every aspect of it, but give it a try. Hopefully this will give you some guidance. If there's any further questions on it, let me know. Thanks for watching.